Two weight classes, human smashing, fight ready assassin. Gastelum passing him, double leg him and tapping him. Who was the first to bring the smoke straight to Adesanya? This 5'9" middleweight, call me the Brown Bomber.
Guys, welcome back to the Kelvin Gastelum YouTube channel. We're going to be breaking down UFC 290. But before we get into that, we want to thank Jimmy Bars. They're available in all Walmart and Costco locations. Get your Jimmy on. So UFC 290 is happening this upcoming weekend in Las Vegas. Let's talk about it. I'm going to be breaking down a few fights, just a few key fights that I find very interesting heading into UFC International Fight Week. I'm actually going to be out there myself, so come on by, take a picture, get an autograph, get a poster, and say what's up. Come enjoy the vibes and some cool pool parties and nightclub parties. And obviously, the entire card of UFC 290 is going to be an insane fight. I look forward to this fight card every year. I've been doing it for the last 10 years. International Fight Week, I fought in one of them at UFC 200 against Johnny Hendricks. And so those are always cool to be a part of, whether you're fighting or not. International Fight Week is something I'm always looking forward to. So I hope to see all of you guys out there as well, and come say what's up. And so one of these key fights that I find very interesting is Robbie Lawler's last fight. I mean, this to me is a legend. His fight with Robbie Lawler. No, who is it? Rory McDonald. There we go. A little tongue twister there. Rory McDonald when he fought Robbie Lawler. I don't remember which card, but there was two of them, and both of them were incredible fights. The second one, I believe, is actually being inducted in the Hall of Fame that same weekend. So this is an awesome and important fight. Robbie Lawler's always been one of my favorite fighters to watch. He's one of those old school fighters that I've always enjoyed watching growing up since I was a kid. And so it's cool to actually see him going in a retirement, and hopefully he goes out on top. But that'll be a tough task. He's got Nico Price in front of him. Nico is a game fighter. He always comes in. He's a very hybrid fighter. He's good on the ground. He's good standing up. He's a good athlete. He's very long and rangy and uses his body style very good to his advantage in a lot of his fights. So he's very gritty. He's very technical, but he likes to get dirty. And so this will be a tough fight. This will be a tough fight to end on top for Robbie. But that's Robbie's bread and butter. You know, he likes those dirty, crazy back and forth fights. That's what he's known for. That's what I've seen him. That's how I've seen him fight for as long as I can remember. So I expect a really good fight in that one. We're also gonna move on and talk about Dricus du Plessis and Robert Whittaker. The most likely the winner of this fight will fight Israel Adesanya. To be honest, I don't see how du Plessis will win this fight. He's got to go in there and completely, knock Robert Whittaker, I think, by some crazy punch, in my opinion, or kick. He's got to catch him by surprise. I don't see how he wins, whether it be in the wrestling department or in the striking department. I guess I probably just haven't seen him get tested in those departments, but I've seen him strike a lot. So, I haven't seen his wrestling. I just feel like striking wise, Robert Whittaker is in a superior place. I've been in there with him for 5 rounds, and it was crazy how I just felt like he was on a higher frequency, operating just at a higher level than I had never felt that inside the octagon. So I'm going to give that fight to Robert Whittaker beating Dricus. And then the co-main event will be Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. That's going to be a rematch. They've fought before. Pantoja has won that fight before. But I don't think it was the best version of Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno has had some amazing fights with Davison Figueiredo, and has come out as the champion now. We remember Brandon now, and he is the face of that division. for a while now. He's had some amazing fights. Everybody loves him. He's a great personality in the UFC, and he seems to be a great champion. Very dedicated, very disciplined, and comes from a great family, and people love him. People love him. I love him. I love that we have a Mexican champion there, and that he represents. I think that's gonna be a great fight. Like I said, I don't think Pantoja won against the best version of Brandon Moreno. I think this will be a very much different fight than it was the previous times, and I expect Brandon to win this fight. I don't know how. Maybe he thins out a split decision is the way that I actually kind of see it. But he has a lot of tools. He can finish it. He can knock him out. He can submit him. But in my head, I see him squeaking out a close decision against Pantoja, who's the number one, who I've said is the number one contender for a long time in the flyweight division. I've seen him before he was fighting in the UFC. I've seen him fight some amazing fights. And I knew that once he got in the Ultimate Fighter, he'd make a lot of waves in that division. So I'm looking forward to that fight. And obviously, the main event, Yair Rodriguez and Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, this is a fight that I'm looking forward to the most. There's so many ways that I believe Yair can probably win this fight. He can knock him out. He can submit him. But Alexander Volkanovski, he's got that dog in him. You can never count out the great, Alexander the Great. You can never count him out. He's a dog. He rises up to the occasion each and every single time that he fights. In my opinion, he didn't convince me as the face of his division, as the champion of his division, until that third Max Holloway fight. After he won that fight, I was like, okay, this is the man. This is the guy. This is the real deal. This guy is special. And so, like, this fight, to me, intrigues me the most. I mean, the way that Yair looked against Josh Emmett, he pieced him up little by little and then ended up submitting him, which is crazy. I don't know in which way. I can't fathom in which way Yair will win this fight. I just know that he's going to. And I've said it before. I know it's not easy, but I think he's going to make it look easy. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly because I know how good Alexander the Great is. I recognize the greatness that is Alexander the Great. He is the number one, in my opinion, pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But I've trained with Yair, and I've actually lived with him, and I've trained with him, and I've felt his strength and his abilities and his agility and everything in between and everything else. And he is a very special individual, mentally, physically, spiritually. I believe with all my heart. I'm going to bet the house on it. Yair is going to win it. Yair is going to win that fight. And guys, that is it for my UFC 290 breakdown. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. And also, please don't forget to get your Jimmy on. We can't thank Jimmy Bars enough for making all of this happen. That is our main sponsor. Please support the people that support us. Get your Jimmy on. Hey.